Today is an exciting day. We've got some mail here all the way from Australia that I think is going to be a game changer in the Troopy. As I've been sitting down and thinking about the next design here, I've been thinking a lot about storage and creative storage solutions at that. Because in the initial design, I actually had a fair bit of storage. I had that big cabinet behind the driver's side. I had this littler cabinet on the passenger side with those big alu boxes on top. And I had that full-size standing cabinet right behind the passenger seat. So if you just look at the pure volume of storage, it was a ton. What I've come to realize, though, is that it was actually what I would call bulk storage. Big open volumes just to throw your crap in. And I did just that. I filled these volumes up with my crap, and then anytime I needed something, I was digging through everything. Anytime I went to make a meal, I was opening up my kitchen alu box and I was digging through everything. So it was storage, but there was no organization. So as I think about the next iteration of the build, yes, I want the volume of storage, but I also want the organizational solutions so that I can find anything in a moment's notice. I don't want to have to rifle through all of my stuff to find that one spice or that one cooking utensil or that fresh change of clothes. And that is exactly what we're solving today. So this is a part of that solution for me. These bags are from Outback Gear Solutions in Australia, and Nick over there is a complete legend. He's got some brilliant designs. This is the bar bag. It sits on the grab handle in front of the passenger seat, just like that, and you've got room for pens, maybe a flashlight or a multi-tool, a big storage compartment on the inside for anything you want at arm's reach from the driver's seat. Maybe paperwork, maybe it's a snack bag, you name it, this will work for it. This is what I'm really excited about. This is called the Big Red. It sits on the rear passenger barn door window and has just a ton of storage options. This might be great for cooking utensils, anything like that. Oh, that's nice. I only got a little card too. Let's see what that says. Oh. There we go. We know we got the good stuff. Oh, we got a little Troopy patch. A couple more stickers. Oh, I love these. These are awesome. Those are definitely going to find a home here in the Troopy. And this one here is called the Full Monty. You've got 6 separate compartments. You've got a big one again on the bottom. That's maybe perfect for cooking utensils or anything like that. These smaller ones on top, I'm thinking, are maybe perfect for spices. Again, maybe you could put your dishwashing soap or anything like that in here. Just a ton of individualized storage of all different sizes. And we're going to get these installed today. Now, installing these bags should be pretty straightforward. It comes with all the hardware you need. You've got these nice braided steel cables with lugs crimped onto the end there. And then it comes with both riv nuts and self-tappers. So you can pick your poison there. I think we're going to go with riv nuts because it should just add a lot more strength and stability over the self-tapping screws. But that means we're going to be measuring out and drilling holes right into the frame of the window here. So we've got to be pretty precise with it. Let's give it a shot and see how it goes. These bags on the backside have this nice rubberized vinyl with a loop for those braided steel cables just to slot right through. And then they'll hang up here, I guess something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so step 1 here is figuring out where we're going to drill these holes. The cables are the right length, so if you get them to just where they're taut across the door frame and level, then you should be able to just mark and measure. I feel like that looks good there. And we'll call that good on this side. Because then if our bottom wire hangs there, lined up with those holes, our top hits nicely up here. Yeah, we should be good. Now the riv nuts are M6s, which means we should have an outer diameter here of 9.5 millimeters. So I've got a 3/8 drill bit, and that should be just about perfect for it. Now what I really don't want here is my drill bit to walk on me while I'm trying to get this hole started. So ideally you would have a center punch. I don't have one. I'm going to use this step bit and just make a little DIY center punch. And then using this tiny step bit, I'm going to work my way up to 3/8. But I can't use the step bit for the full hole because by the time I made my way down here to 3/8, I would be poking through the other side of the door. So we're going to switch over to my actual drill bit now. Now what we really don't want here is to eventually have to deal with any rust in the window frame, because that would just be a nightmare and probably a full door replacement. So we're going to do a couple things. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz down the hole with a little bit of this corrosion inhibitor. This is basically a lanolin or a fluid film type thing, but it's just the cheap one that they had at Ace. But it's CRC, so brake clean, must be good stuff. So we're gonna spritz a little of that into the hole, and then we're gonna come through onto the bare metal around the hole and hit it with a little Rust-Oleum, just as a little safety net here. Then the third thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a bead of silicone around those riv nuts before I install them. So 3-step process. Hopefully we keep this as watertight and rust-free as possible. I've got a tiny little bead of silicone right around the rim there. All right, now check this out. I am so excited. It may seem like such a little thing to get these bags hung, but it is truly these little things that makes the livability in the Troopy so much better. We've got organized storage. I have no idea what's gonna live in here yet, but I've got a ton of ideas. I think some of these little ones are gonna be perfect for cooking spices, cooking oils, things like that. This big one, perfect size for my utensils, my tongs, my spatulas, things like that. I am so excited. Let's do the big red on the other side. Now this side is a little bit more involved because this trim piece actually has to come off. And we're gonna have to make a little cut in the plastic to accommodate the wire that's gonna pass through, but it is gonna let us use some of these factory mounting holes, so that's kind of nice. And this comes off real easy. I think it's just these 4 screws. Oh, 5 screws. There's one on the side here. Oh, 6 screws. There's a hidden one. So I think this one should sit something like that. So we'll use this factory mounting point for one of the screws. And then we'll drill and set 3 riv nuts, I think. Now on this door for the big red, I'm doing it in a bit of a reverse order because on the top wire, I've got this factory mounting hole to work with. I popped out the plastic tab for the self-tapper that they had in there. I'm gonna drill that out to fit the riv nut. I'm gonna drill this one on this side. We'll string it up and then we'll measure where the bottom one needs to go. I don't know what's in this, but it smells so good. Same deal as last time, just throwing a bead of silicone around the rim of this riv nut. The second one. Yeah, it looks really good. Okay, now it's time to test fit. Make sure the bag is nice and taut. And that looks good. I'll go ahead and mark that. Now there's one difference here on this one. Here at the outer edge of the door, you see how it's double skinned there? There's a sandwich of sheet metal. So this one I'm just going to drill a pilot hole, and I'll use a self tapper there instead of trying to set a riv nut in that, because I'm not sure I would have the grab distance on the riv nut for that sandwiched material. But here on this one, we'll do it the same way. We'll drill it and pop a riv nut in there. So now, what I need to do is mark this trim piece. So I'm going to just notch it out right there, pretty much all the way up, so that cable will fit through and the trim will sit flush. I'm not exactly sure what the right tool for the job is, but I've got these Klein snippers. It should be enough. I just don't want to crack the plastic. It's pretty old and delicate, so I'll go a little bit at a time. Oh yeah, that's working real nice. That should do it right there. Let's give it a test fit. All my holes line up. Yeah, that looks perfect. So to get this top wire to sit flush with the trim that has a little indentation, I'm just going to throw another washer on the back side here. Not perfect, but it'll be good enough. Well, now that was a pretty quick and straightforward install. I think I probably spent a couple hours on it, just making sure that I could measure twice and drill once into these door frames and get the riv nuts set so they wouldn't spin out on me. I couldn't be more excited though to have these in here. I think the stuff that Nick and Lil are doing at Outback Gear Solutions is absolutely top notch. And it's these little things that are just going to make the livability inside the Troopy that much nicer. This isn't sponsored at all. I absolutely just am in love with the products that they're making over there. So if you're looking for a similar storage solution for your Troopy, take a look at Outback Gear Solutions. You can email Nick. He can arrange international shipping, no problem. And I've got to say, this is giving me ideas about making a better use of the underside of the alu cab. I think that there's a world where I mount some bags or some packing cubes or something up to the underside of the sleeping platform and get some overhead storage in here. I think that could be really cool. Now the next step here is really to start cutting metal, making some chips fly and framing this out, and I could not be more excited. We've got our work cut out for us, but parts are here and we're ready to rock and roll. Pretty soon this isn't going to be an empty truck anymore. We're going to have our interior built out and we're going to be ready to put it through its paces. So stick around for that. If you like what I'm doing, it is a huge help to give this video that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, because there's some really good stuff on the way. I've got a pretty ambitious goal to hit 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I can't do it without your help. So if you like what I'm up to, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and maybe share it with a friend or two. That would be awesome. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, get out and explore somewhere.